What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for all of your Lakers and NBA talk. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and today I will be able to watch some stress-free NBA playoff basketball. That is, of course, because the Lakers won their game last night, Game 3 over the Memphis Grizzlies by a final score of 111-101. And so I want to talk about that game in this video and kind of where the series is at now that we're at basically the halfway point in that one. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, I think a lot of Lakers fans are going to feel somewhat let down, a little bit disappointed by how that game played out, because the Lakers got off to a blistering start, right? Up 26 after the first quarter. It was like 35-9, ridiculous scoreline. Memphis helped us out by not being able to throw the ball into the ocean. I mean, I think the Lakers defense had a lot to do with that. But they stayed in the game somewhat, kept chipping away at that lead, and by the end of it, it was a 10-point game. So I think a lot of Lakers fans were hoping that this was going to be a 30-point blowout, 40-point blowout, what have you. I got to remind you of this 2023 Lakers team. This is not a team that does that, okay? We have been quite poor at handling big leads throughout the entire season. So the fact that Memphis stayed in the game is not a surprise to me. Having said that, I think this was a really good win, okay? We survived Ja Morant's probably greatest playoff game of his career, right? 45-point triple-double, damn near 45-point triple-double. I think he was one rebound away, right? 6 threes. When are you going to ever see Ja Morant hit 6 threes in a game? I don't know that. I doubt that he's going to do that again in this series, right? So he had the game of his career so far. Amazing performance. It kind of reminded me a lot of Kobe, you know, many years ago when he would drag a team in a playoff game and it was just him doing all the heavy lifting and all of his other teammates let him down, right? How many times have we seen that as Lakers fans? Game 5 in the 2010 NBA Finals in Boston. That was, you know, another classic example of that. Kobe going off for like 19 in the third quarter of that game. Gave me shades of Kobe, what Ja Morant was doing last night. But it was only him. All the other Memphis Grizzlies teams had an off night. And the Lakers were able to survive just a devastating performance by Ja Morant. I mean, he was getting the D-Wade treatment by the referees too, going to the line at will. Give him a lot of credit for his aggressiveness and his mentality, because you know that wrist injury looked pretty gruesome in game 1 and he's able to come back and play like that. So a lot of credit to Ja Morant. The Lakers were able to weather that storm and come out with a relatively comfortable victory in the end. Now, the last video after game 2, I talked about 2 of the big factors in this series, right? The first being the 3 starters: Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, and Austin Reeves. In game 2, they only combined for 30 points. Game 1, they combined for 64 points, and the Lakers won that one. Here tonight in game 3, or last night in game 3, they combined for 61 points. So that pattern is still going accordingly, right? If those 3 get 45 or more, I think the Lakers are in really good shape to win the game, and they got 61 last night. The other factor being defense. Now, this is a trend that is, you know, continuing to progress in the Lakers' favor, right? Game 1, the team's defensive rating was like 110, 111. Very good. Game 2, it was at 107. Even better, despite the Lakers losing that one. I think, you know, we look back and we know that the offense really let the team down in game 2. Here in game 3, their defensive rating was 100, which is phenomenal by today's NBA standards. Phenomenal for any era of the NBA, really. So the defense is continuing to be the guiding factor for the Lakers in this series. And I got to shout out Anthony Davis. I think so far he's been the MVP of the series, and if the trend continues, he will end up being the best player in this first round series against the Memphis Grizzlies. The guy is like averaging, you know, 13 rebounds, damn near 2 steals, and 5 blocks a game. Phenomenal defensive effort by Anthony Davis so far. And he chipped in with 31 points last night. Really took advantage of Jaren Jackson Jr. being in foul trouble, especially in the second half, And we saw a really aggressive AD, right? He was attacking the basket. He was, taking on his defenders, going at them. And that opened up his mid-range jumper, which we know as Lakers fans is not always the most consistent. And he even hits a three to boot as well. So I like seeing this aggressive AD. And that is leading to kind of the last thing that I want to touch on in this reaction video to Game 3 to see for the rest of the way here in the series. And that is points in the paint. I think that is going to be maybe the most crucial factor here going forward, because these are two teams that love getting points in the paint. I think for the regular season this year, the Memphis Grizzlies were ranked #1 in the league at points in the paint. The Lakers weren't too far behind in 6th or something like that. So these are two teams that love to attack the basket. We saw the adjustment by the Memphis Grizzlies in Game 3, right? The 3-point, the outside jumper was not falling for them at all. So I think Taylor Jenkins made the correct adjustment to tell his team, just attack the basket, be aggressive towards the rim. And that's what allowed them to stay in the game throughout that second half. But despite that, the Lakers scored more points in the paint than the Grizzlies in Game 3. I think it was like 58-42. Games 1 and 2, they were relatively even in points in the paint. So I think for the rest of the way here, we got to see who gets more points in the paint. And that will really dictate the outcome of the last few games here. I still think the Lakers are in control of this one. I think barring any injury, any roster personnel changes, the Lakers are going to win this series. And I think points in the paint, AD being the spectacular version of himself that we all know he's capable of being, that is going to lead this team to beating the Memphis Grizzlies in this series. But I want you guys to watch who is more aggressive at attacking the basket the rest of the way here, because I think whoever's more aggressive is going to come out on top in these games. But yeah, it's looking really good for the Lakers, and can't wait to see how the team follows up this Game 3 performance Monday night in Game 4. Shout out to the Staples or Crypto.com crowd, because this was the first full capacity home playoff game in, I don't even remember how long, since 2013, really? Definitely the first full capacity home playoff game for LeBron and Anthony Davis and this new era of Lakers basketball. But the Crypto.com crowd was pretty good. I mean, it sounded pretty good from the telecast. So shout out to all the Lakers fans that were in the building last night, and let's keep this momentum going. But I'd love to know your thoughts. How do you feel for this series the rest of the way here? Do you think it's gonna be just a quick 5-game gentleman sweep, or do you think Memphis has a win or two in them left? Let me know all your thoughts, but I think things are trending good in the direction of the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's all I got in this video. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel for all of your Lakers and NBA talk. Take care, enjoy the weekend, and I will see you soon.